Hey everybody, Vince August here. It is Monday, June 22nd, and Hollywood is at it again. Thank God Hollywood is coming to the rescue. Specifically, Disney. Yes, one of my favorites, Disney, is making sure that all of you know certain things that are portrayed in movies are based on outdated language, cultural, and attitudes. And the one movie they wanted to make sure that you knew, Aladdin, you have to know that this is not a documentary and it's based on some outdated principles about culture and really, this is not factual. You mean there are no genies that pop out of lamps? There's no flying carpets? You're killing me. Really? Really? A story about arranged marriage? Well, that's actually real in this part of the real. Thank you, Disney, for clarifying. Listen, what I think is being lost here, okay? Part of the reason we love movies is because they are fantasy. They're not based on reality. They're a break from reality. The reason we like to watch TV is because it is a break from reality. Look, a lot of people watch movies and buy into the crap. They buy into it and they get caught up into it and believe it's a historical context. Let me clear some of those movies up. Maybe Hollywood should start certain movies off with a disclaimer. And let's start with Academy Award-winning movies like Gladiator. Let's start off with this one. Let's start off with an apology of, hey, listen, we have a character named the Spaniard from Spain with an Australian accent the entire movie because, you know what, hey, why not? Yeah, no, it would have cost us too much to actually find someone with a Spanish accent from Spain to play. So Australian accent, English accent, trumps everything, automatically historical and factual. First problem with this. Second problem with the movie The Gladiator. If you've ever gone to Rome, if you've ever studied the history of the Roman Colosseum, okay, although they did kill animals in the Colosseum, when gladiators would fight in the Colosseum, they most likely, in a overwhelming historical facts show that they fought with wooden swords, and this was a performance. It was a performance for people to come. This was a stage. The actual Colosseum is a stage, and there were planks and boards and things that would move. It was unbelievable to see how advanced it was. Okay, so these were performers. Now, did performers get hurt? Sure, they got hurt. Like in WWE, like in football, like in sports, they would get hurt. But that these were fights to the death? No. That this was portrayed actually? No. In fact, here's my other thing. I love it when we get an American actor to then use an English accent to play a Roman. Yeah, that works too. Okay. But anyway, talking about the decision whether or not someone should live or die. As it turns out, thumbs up, thumbs down, completely historically inaccurate in this movie. So, when the fight would battle and then people would decide, well, who would win the fight? Is it time to win the fight? This actually meant kill. This meant no, save. So this was a better thing. This meant you die. That's right, because when you hold a sword up, blade up, it's like this. This means blade up, strike. This means no, sheath your sword, put it away, save the person's life. So, historical context. But right, that's what we want to do. We want to get into these movies and we want to ruin them. So let's ruin everything. Why not? How about Chernobyl, an unbelievable miniseries, one of the best acted miniseries about a nuclear spill in Ukraine caused by the Russians. And you know what we made sure to have in this movie to keep it as realistic possible? Nobody with a Russian accent. That's right. Again, just put in as many people that do not have a Russian accent into a movie about a nuclear spill in the Ukraine. Okay. Cool Runnings. Great movie. Factually inaccurate. Okay. They were not failed runners. They were not. They were actually 4 soldiers that were handpicked to be part of this team. The Americans handpicked these 4 Jamaican soldiers. Did the bobsled crash? Yeah. Did they finish in last place? Yes. But that they showed up and everyone was like, oh my God, don't talk to the Jamaican Not true. In fact, in many of these races where you don't have that head-to-head like you do in basketball and other, most of these people pull for each other. I know, I used to compete as a powerlifter. There was never this animosity between people. You pulled for people to do well in sports, but let's not portray that. Here's one of my all-time favorite steaming pile of crap movies, JFK. This movie, Oliver Stone's fantasy view of the assassination of Kennedy, where we all of a sudden introduce testimony that was actually never given. Yeah. Or then we have another character who is giving testimony that in real life was completely on drugs. His entire testimony was like, yeah, no, this guy's high off his ass, okay? Yeah, but no, let's create this fantasy world and make people believe all of these conspiracies. What's amazing is if you put this on YouTube today, this would be able to stay up, whereas people that are giving actual medical testimony as to masks and things, no, that would be bad. This would probably stay up. Then there's, of course, the movie that I always pick on, Rocky, based on an Italian boxer in the 70s that won a heavyweight title. No, you would have to go back to 1956 to find a heavyweight champion with an Italian last name. His name was Marciano, and he never lost. He was undefeated, 48-0, okay, or 49-0. No, so, and Sylvester Stallone, this movie is not based on Chuck Wepner, absolutely. Chuck Wepner, the year before Rocky gets filmed, is this boxer who takes Muhammad Ali 15 rounds before losing in the 15th round by a TKO. And everyone was shocked that Chuck Wepner, who had lost so many fights in his career, something like 17, I don't know exactly the number, somehow took Muhammad Ali. And so, no, it's not based on that. This is Rocky Marciano. No. It's based on Chuck Wepner. He loses the fight. There is no Italian heavyweight champion that we actually made a real statue for. So, listen. What we could do is we can go to the movies and just enjoy them and say, look, this is fantasy. This is a break. This is why we come in. Or we can try to put a disclaimer before everything, sanitize everything that basically says, listen, before you watch this movie, just know everything in this movie is not based on any sort of reality. It's all fake. And whatever you do, try your best not to enjoy this movie. It's like coming to see me at a comedy club and I say, listen, everybody, I'm going to say some jokes now. A lot of them are going to cross the line. They may make you feel uncomfortable, but in a funny way. But whatever you do, please don't laugh.